Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Ahmed Abdalla, Senior Applications Expert with Imaginate Technologies, and today we're discussing connected workflows with Autodesk Forma and Revit. Now, the agenda for today is to kind of dive deeper into the Forma ecosystem and understand what Forma is as a platform, not as a product only. I think this is a very important messaging, and then we're going to take a look at the Forma roadmap, and we're going to also explore the Forma Site Design tool, and we're going to have some time for Q&A at the end. If you're new to Imaginit, I'd like to welcome you and say thank you again for joining us. We are a RAND worldwide company, and we are also an Autodesk Platinum partner. We have more than 4 decades in business expertise, consultation, training, you name it. We work with connected systems and bring added value, and we engage in a variety of different projects. So we have very awesome staff in here. Feel free to connect with us for any, Revit, non-Revit technical problem, product demo, consultation. Visit our website, imaginit.com. to find out more about what we do and who we are. All right, so I'd like to start with a high-level map where Autodesk Forma fits and what's where it sits, what's it built on right now, and how it's connected across the project lifecycle. It is very important to understand that Forma is not just a product anymore. It's a whole ecosystem. It's a whole platform. And why is that important? If you're a design technology manager or a BIM lead or a BIM director, you can benefit a lot from the Forma platform because it contains a lot of models, data models, platform services, APIs. So you can create your own unique kind of product within Autodesk Forma nowadays, as some companies do right now. And if we were to take a look at the left of my screen, we have three fundamental platforms, which is Fusion, Forma, and Flow. Fusion deals with manufacturing, Forma deals with architectural engineering construction, and Flow deals with the entertainment and media industry. In the middle, this is where Autodesk Forma as a platform gets defined. As I mentioned, it sits on top of data models, platform services with APIs, and then we have the products. So previously, when we did one of these webinars, Forma was just a product back then. Now it got rebranded as Forma Site Design. But there's also the Forma Building Design that's coming in. Forma ecosystem in itself is very connected. It supports the idea of common data environment, where you want to have everything connected coming from one source of truth. During the Autodesk University, we also came to know that Forma products got labeled as Forma Data Management. So this is very important to understand as well. And it gives us a core value, great values actually. Forma will be the first comprehensive industry cloud for architects, engineers, contractors, and owners, and will support the full asset lifecycle from planning to operations. So that means all of your Autodesk data and tools from conceptual design to detailed models and ACC can be centralized in one cloud-based location with no migration required. And with Autodesk Platform Services and AEC data model and APIs and the data exchanges, you're going to have an access to more features. You can have an access to more development, which means that you will be able in the future to connect data across Autodesk and non-Autodesk tools, enabling true data interoperability. Now, how does that translate? Like, if you ask me today, how do I see that reflected? Well, you're going to notice in Autodesk Construction Cloud, or ACC, that now you're able to access Forma as a product from the product selector. And also within Forma, you can access your Autodesk docs. Simple integration, yet it's very valuable. It provides the ease of access to users while maintaining the early design data in the common data environment. Now, we know that Revit has the add-on, the Forma add-on, which enables you to kind of export Forma models into Revit, but also what's coming up, and I've actually tested this in the beta testing, is that now you're able to connect from within Forma, from within Revit into Forma to perform tasks such as wind analysis. Revit 2026 is going to be the first Forma connected client. Now let's talk a little bit about Forma Site Design, which is the product that we have on hand. And the Forma Site Design offerings, or how you can get it, is through the AAC collection. So if you have the AAC collection, it's right there. You can have it. You can also purchase it as a standalone. And it's geared toward the early design stage. So that's what we want to focus on. We want to be very clear that it is not currently intended for construction documentation, operations. The site design works for a planning stage. If you're doing pursuits, it's good. It's an amazing tool for you. The core concept of Forma Site Design is to bring in contextual data, then build 3D models on top of it, perform analyses, different types of analyses, document that in the Forma Board, and then export that into Revit. You can also use different plugins and tools through the open APIs for different types of analyses as well. Forma tries to tackle a very important issue within the industry. The industry is the design process within the industry is non-linear process. It's an iterative process where, you get the program from the client, then you start designing, and then the client, changes something within that program, you redesign again, and it's going back and forth. The offerings that comes from the Forma, platform helps everyone to kind of streamline the process, makes it linear instead of iterative going back and forth. So it reduces the waste at early stages of the project, reduces defects and errors, and kind of support that lean project management aspect. So as I mentioned before, within Forma, we've got about nine built-in analysis tools that we can leverage to kind of start working with Forma within the models. So we have the sun hour analyses, which calculates the number of sun hours on buildings and ground at different times of the year. Can be used to check the sun hours compliance with local regulations. We have the daylight potential. We have the microclimate analyses, embodied carbon analyses, noise analyses, shadow study, and solar energy. So Forma Site Design also comes in with an enhanced 3D sketching method. It's pretty easy to sketch. Later on, once we start doing the demo portion, we're going to explore how to kind of leverage the 3D sketching tools within the Forma Site Design. So you start by adding, generic masses, shape the building, and then perform the analysis. Forma also has add-ons, and it has its own app store. You can add Dynamo to your project if you want to experiment with, unique design. All of that is available. What's coming up within the Forma timeline, so this hasn't been released yet, but we have the Forma Building Design coming up. It's an amazing product which allows you to kind of take that massing model even further to a detailed building element. So what Autodesk has been focusing on is bridging the gap between the planning phase and the design phase, where you want to start adding facade to your building. This where Forma Building Design will come in handy. There is a web page where you can sign in or sign up for a beta testing. Again, this product hasn't been released yet, but expected to be released pretty soon. With the building design, you can also perform analyses within indoor areas, not just the facade and the neighboring areas, but you can also take it to the next level. It also allows for easy manipulation to the massing model. So you can push walls back and forth pretty easily and then regenerate the analyses, as we can see. So as I mentioned before, again, with the release of the building design, there's going to be different types of releases within the Forma ecosystem. Within Revit 2026, you're going to be able to log into the wind analyses and different types of analyses within Revit 2026 and Forma. This video or slide shows you the next release of Forma and how's it going to be accessible from the Revit client, connected client. Also, on the horizon, there is the Autodesk Insight and Forma plugin for connectivity. So that's on the horizon as well, on the roadmap, where you're taking your Forma model, analyze it in Insight if you're looking for energy performance. So this was an introduction to the Forma ecosystem and where it sits right now. Starting from the planning phase, going through the design, construction, and operation. So it's a full ecosystem right now. And within the future or the next few months, we're going to look at more releases, probably do more of these webinars as well to kind of review the design and the construction operational phases. Now, next, I'm going to switch to the Forma website to kind of go over the new features or introduce it to new users. So the way you want to access Forma is through your Chrome, and you can go to the Forma login page or type it in Google, Forma login, and then it'll take you to the main Forma login page, log in with your credentials, and this is what you're gonna see. So this is called the Forma Hub. And as you can see, pretty straightforward. On the left, you've got your projects, your hubs that you're part of. In the main screen, you've got recent projects that you've worked on. Up top, you have 3 options: site, demo site, Forma Board. There's also create new, project, site, or board. At the bottom, there is a learning section where you want to learn about the new offerings, the new features. Forma is ever-evolving product. The development team in Autodesk has been, they have been doing a great job adding features to Forma. Every time that you log in, you're going to notice that, hey, there's this new feature. I wonder what it does. So it's a good place to kind of explore. As you can see, coming soon, the Forma Building Design. So you can join the waitlist if you click on join the waitlist. If you were to create a new site or click on site, Forma is going to ask you, okay, I want to create a new site, but which project does it belong to right now? So as you can see, this is the integration with ACC or your hub. So you can select one of the hubs, click on select, and then it's going to ask you, okay, if I want to create a new project, where is it located? Now, this might be a very simple process to someone entering or punching in an address, but it's very important because what it brings in the backend is the contextual data for that site. Every country has a different data providers, different data rules, right? So you want to read about the data restrictions, data rules. I'd say most of the data is accessible for free, but it comes with a licensing portion, and we're going to take a look at that once we export the Forma model into Revit. So I'm going to type in an address, 6030 Bathurst Street, North York, Ontario. And as you can see, the indicator zooms in towards that exact area. I can zoom in or out to get the site context. Now, if you zoom in too close, you're going to get a warning that says, hey, you know what, your area is too small. You want to zoom out a little bit and confirm the map. And now Forma is going to do the heavy lifting for you, bring in all the site context for the early planning stage. As simple as that, your project will get the setup. It'll bring an established project that I have in a different address. And what you want to do afterwards is, let's switch back to our main project, is select the packages that you want to bring the data. So as you can see, it says free package. Kind of gives you a little bit of info about how to use this package. You have Esri imagery as well. You can click on order to load that package. You can go back, load a different package, maybe 3D buildings package, add order. And it tells you also the provider name, OpenStreetMap, for example. Esri, flat terrain. Once you're done, you can close. And now you have your site ready. This was a very fast process. No going more to Google Maps and kind of grabbing a screenshot, try to scale it. On the left side of my Forma platform, I have the proposals portion. And the idea is, as soon as you start creating your project, you want to review your program, you want to see the client requirements, and maybe add 2 proposals. Maybe it's for a pursuit, right? So clicking on the plus sign is going to automatically add proposal 2. And within proposal 2 and proposal 1, you can modify the existing site. So this is my existing site. You can select the building, right click, edit on the base. You want to access the edit base because this will allow you to kind of delete it, right? And then draw the new proposal on top of it. Click on done. You want to add a site limit. Site limit layer will allow you to kind of define the piece of land where you want to establish your site, right? What you could do with Forma, because again, it's built on top of an AI layer, is to do some site automations, like use generative design. Shape the building with generative design tools, or do a manual sketch if you don't like generative design. This site is too small, so results are gonna vary, not to a degree. But if you have a bigger site, you can test this generative design on it. So we have line buildings, basic buildings, 3D sketch, house commands. These will allow you to kind of establish your sketch. On the right hand is the properties of my sketch. The width, how many floors, what's the height of these floors. You can model different types of environmental environments, such as roads. You can model trees as well. These will affect your analyses that you're going to do within your site. So the idea is to model stuff really quick and then run the analyses. Now, how do I run the analyses? It's right here on the top right corner. So I spoke earlier about the different types of analyses that we have. We have 9 out of the box, as you can see, and we have the add extension, which allows you to access more tools developed by third parties. Now, some of these are free. Some of them require you to purchase them. Pretty awesome tools out there. Kind of streamline the process. Evolve Lab has the Veris rendering tool, for example, if you want to have your rendering tool built in within Forma. If you want to export to Revit, you want to download the Autodesk Forma add-in for Revit. This will allow you to export your proposal to Revit and then continue working from Revit. So going back to analyses, under Analyze, I've got the area metrics, which populate immediately, as you can see. So I have minimum viable product that I want to satisfy within my program, right? I want to model a building that is going to be more than 4,000 square meters, for example, and then go and perform the other types of analyses for each proposal. You gotta remember that you're dealing with multiple proposals sometimes. What you want to understand about these analyses is that depending on the options that you have within some sort of within some types of these analysis, such as the wind analysis, if it's a rapid versus detailed, that might take you a lot of time, right? So as you can see under detailed, it says 30 to 90 minutes because it's using a different engine in the backend rather than the rapid analysis. So you got to think forward. Which type of analysis do I want to do at this stage, right? I'm still designing, I'm still shaping. Maybe if the client has confirmed this shape of a building with the area metrics, then I can go and run the detailed analyses. Running it is pretty straightforward. As you can see, you can select the month, the day, and click on Run Analyses. This is going to run it, and we can run multiple types of analyses. Let's do a shadow study or a microclimate analysis. So you can increase the radius. There's the embodied carbon as well. You can access embodied carbon definitions to define your envelope, your structure, interiors, MEP system. So once you run your analyses, what you can do next is kind of compare them, put them side by side. You can run, let's say, a wind analysis on a different month, different day, right? You want to compare the results between the two. This is where the compare feature would allow you to do so. And you can split your screen horizontally or vertically, depending on how you want to do it. By default, it's going to be on the vertical side. So I can drag and drop the analyses, and it's going to show the results between the two. You can also filter between different analyses, different proposals to kind of shrink down the list. If you right-click on the screen, you can split the screen horizontally, and you can add more. Now, if you try to keep going to a certain number, it's going to give you an error. It's going to tell you, hey, you've reached the maximum supported windows. So keep that in mind. I want to have 4, drag and drop. The views in themselves, they kind of sync, as you can see, once you start rotating, zooming in and out, so that you're, within the context of your building, within the area, you know what's going on. And it looks very presentable. Each analysis, again, has its own sort of palette that will allow you to kind of go through different options. As you can see, the air temperature, for example, in the microclimate analyses shows different results, and these data could be exported as well. From the top left corner, where I entered the compare tool, you can also enter the Forma Board tool. Now, Forma Board will allow you to document what you've done so far. You can create a new board, and it's one of those endless white spaces that you have. You can collaborate, you and your team. You can add them to the board by clicking on the board members. Don't think I have anyone invited in this project. You can show comments, see user settings. Again, document what you've done, the progress, what's the plan. Pretty awesome tool. Within the Forma Board, you can also bring in the analyses that you've done. You can make a presentation view, right? That's another way to use the Forma Board. Insert renderings, insert documents from ACC. So on the left side, we've got the site design, which would allow you to insert the analyses. Docs is gonna connect to your Autodesk Docs. Bring in the data from within Autodesk Docs. Insert an image, add notes, add a text. Keep collaborating within the Forma Hub. All right. Let's go back to site design. So this is going to take you back to your design area. And as I mentioned before, we're dealing with multiple proposals. If you want to export a proposal, let's say we have proposal 2. We want to export this building shape into Revit and continue working on it. Step number 1 is to make sure that you've downloaded the Revit add-in extension. You want to click on the proposal 3 dots, the builder button, Revit, send to Revit add-in. You want to open up Revit. I'm going to open up a new project. The Forma add-in sits within the massing and site. So once you download the add-in, it's going to be available within the massing and site tab. There's the Forma panel, load proposal. So if it's disabled or not giving you any indication that, hey, it's working, try to send it back again. And as you can see, it detects the sent proposal. There is an advanced setting option where you can say, hey, I want to bring the walls and create the walls automatically once I bring them to Revit. Maybe I don't want to do that. I'm going to bring the mass. Create separate groups, some terrain options. I'm going to click on load. It's going to take a few seconds to complete. It's a pretty fast process. Building that in Revit would take some time. getting the model up and running from the ground up definitely is going to take some time. Within Forma, it's a very fast process. As you can see, it's almost done. Creating rooms as well, bringing the site context. It gives you this message where it tells you, hey, you know what? You've added some contextual data. Now, you want to review the licenses of these data that you brought in. See if it's under free commercial license or if it requires some payment. Again, each country has its own licensing and data policies, as you can see. This is from the Government of Canada. Talks about different packages. So do the due diligence, explore the data, spend some time on it. I've got a few warnings, but I'm going to ignore these for now. And as simple as that, I've got my project set up in Revit, as you can see. If I were to open the 3D view, I have my building added, and I've got Revit elements, such as basic roof. I've got the basic wall. I've got some rooms coming in. If you switch to textures mode, you're going to see the image that was added to the top of solid. It comes with levels as well, which saves a lot of time building the building, right? Let's try and add a door to this wall. Let's click on Update Proposal. Let's select a view and hit on Update. And this will allow you to kind of update your proposal and send it back to Forma. So you see the bi-directional connectivity between Revit and Forma. So one Forma elements will be converted to simple meshes based on the changes to Revit elements. I want to say yes. Successfully updated model in Forma. I want to try and load that proposal update. So if it does not update automatically, you want to switch between different proposals. And as you can see, the door just got inserted. Now, again, this is the current state of Forma Site Design. We anticipate more features within the Forma Building Design as far as it goes to how you can design the facades, control it. Stay tuned, follow Imaginite's marketing emails to be updated within what's coming to Forma. And I'd like to thank everyone for joining me today. I'm going to open it up to Q&A for now.